What if I told you that your dazzling blue eyes, or the blue eyes of someone you know, are a relatively new phenomenon in the grand scheme of human history? For most of our time on this planet, blue eyes simply didn't exist. This single genetic mutation, emerging just thousands of years ago, changed not only how we look, but also how we see ourselves and others. Prepare to uncover the shocking truth behind this captivating color. Forget everything you thought you knew about eye color. Blue eyes aren't just a random trait. They are a recent evolutionary marvel. In a world once dominated by brown eyes, a subtle change sparked a global transformation. By the end of this video, you will see blue eyes in a completely new light, and understand why one single genetic tweak had such a profound global impact. Let's start at the beginning. If we could travel back in time, say 20,000 years ago, and look into the eyes of every single human on Earth, we would see only one color: brown. From the deepest chocolate to lighter honey tones, brown was the universal standard. This is because our early ancestors evolved in Africa, where high levels of melanin, the pigment responsible for color, provided crucial protection from the harsh ultraviolet rays of the sun. More melanin meant darker skin, darker hair, and darker eyes. This was the original human blueprint. For hundreds of thousands of years, this was the only reality. Then, somewhere between 6,000 and 10,000 years ago, something incredible happened. A single person, living in the Black Sea region, was born with a specific genetic mutation. This wasn't a change to the gene that creates melanin, but rather a change to a gene that controls it. Think of it like a light switch. The gene that produces melanin, called OCA2, was still there, but another gene, HERC2, which acts as the switch for OCA2, mutated. This mutation essentially turned down the production of melanin in the iris. It didn't turn it off completely, just reduced it significantly. When there's very little melanin in the front layer of the iris, the eye doesn't actually contain blue pigment. Instead, it's a structural effect. When light enters the eye, the shorter blue wavelengths are scattered back out by the fibers in the iris, a phenomenon called the Tyndall effect, similar to why the sky appears blue. So, blue eyes are not blue because of pigment, but because of physics. Scientists have traced this specific HERC to mutation back to a single common ancestor. That means every single person with blue eyes on the planet today is a distant cousin, sharing a tiny piece of DNA from that one patient zero who lived near the Black Sea all those millennia ago. From that one individual, the mutation began to spread. As humans migrated out of Africa and into Asia and Europe, this new trait traveled with them. Now, you might be wondering, why did it become so common, especially in Northern Europe? One leading theory suggests a slight evolutionary advantage. In regions with less sunlight, like Scandinavia, high levels of melanin aren't as necessary for UV protection. In fact, lower melanin levels can be beneficial. Lighter skin, for example, is better at producing vitamin D from limited sunlight. Some scientists have proposed that lighter-colored eyes might have offered a similar, albeit small, advantage in low-light conditions, perhaps by reducing glare or improving vision during long, dark winters. While the evidence for this is still debated, it's a compelling idea. Another crucial factor is something called the founder effect. Imagine a small group of pioneers migrating to a new land. If a few of them happen to carry the blue eye gene, that trait will be much more common in their descendants than in the larger population they left behind. As small bands of humans settled across Northern Europe, these population bottlenecks likely amplified the prevalence of blue eyes, making it a common feature in the region. But the story gets even more interesting. While we strongly associate blue eyes with Europe, they appear in surprising pockets around the world. There are communities in parts of the Middle East, Central Asia, and even among some Native American tribes, with instances of naturally occurring blue eyes. These are modern distribution mysteries that researchers are still trying to unravel. Are they all linked to that same Black Sea ancestor through ancient migration routes we are just now discovering? Or could there have been separate, independent mutations? For now, the genetic evidence still points to one single origin, meaning these scattered populations are living testaments to the incredible far-reaching journeys of our ancestors. The impact of blue eyes goes far beyond genetics and migration. It has profoundly shaped human culture and our very perception of beauty. Throughout history, this rare and striking feature has been interpreted in countless ways. In some ancient cultures, blue eyes were seen as a sign of divinity or magical powers, belonging to gods and goddesses. In others, they were viewed with suspicion, seen as a mark of an outsider, or even a sign of weakness. Think of the evil eye talismans, often depicted as blue, meant to ward off curses. This duality shows how a simple physical trait can carry immense symbolic weight. Then came the shift in beauty standards, particularly in Western societies. Over the centuries, blue eyes became increasingly idealized. In art, from Renaissance paintings to modern photography, blue-eyed subjects were often used to represent purity, innocence, or a certain kind of aristocratic beauty. This ideal was amplified 1,000 times over with the rise of Hollywood and global media. Think about it. How many iconic movie stars and models have been celebrated for their captivating blue eyes? This constant exposure has embedded the blue-eyed ideal deep within our collective consciousness, influencing everything from casting decisions to personal preferences. Of course, this has a darker side. Throughout history, physical traits, including eye color, have been wrongly used to create hierarchies and justify prejudice. The intense focus on certain traits has sometimes led to genetic discrimination or an unhealthy obsession with racial purity. It's a somber reminder that while our genetic diversity is a beautiful thing, human interpretation of it can sometimes be flawed and harmful. So, what does the future hold for blue eyes? In our increasingly globalized world, where people from different continents meet and build families, the genetic landscape is constantly changing. With increased migration and intermixing of populations, the lines are blurring. Genetically, the brown eye gene is dominant over the recessive blue eye gene. This means that if one parent passes on a brown eye gene and the other passes on a blue eye gene, the child will have brown eyes. Does this mean blue eyes are destined to disappear? Not at all. The gene for blue eyes isn't going anywhere. It will continue to be passed down through generations as a recessive trait, ready to reappear whenever two carriers have children. What we will likely see is a more diverse and fascinating mix of eye colors around the world. The clear-cut geographic concentrations of eye color will become less distinct, creating a richer tapestry of human appearance. The gene itself is incredibly resilient and has survived for thousands of years of vast population movements. So it's safe to say it is a re-two step. So the next time you look into a pair of blue eyes, whether they be your own or someone else, just remember the incredible story behind them. It's not just a color. It's a connection to a single ancestor who lived thousands of years ago. It's a testament to the epic migrations that populated our planet, and it's a living piece of a unique evolutionary journey that literally changed the face of humanity. Your unique gaze is a window into a truly remarkable chapter of the human story. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the world of eye color. If you found this as fascinating as I did, please give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more explorations into the amazing science of us. And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next one.